Well, our first guest joins us in studio. Kyle Winther is the CEO of a company called VHUB International Incorporated. Their stock symbol is VHUB. Kyle, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Don.
Well, we're really happy to be initiating coverage of your company this week. We're following you very closely over the next several weeks. You're basically engaged in the development, production, and sales of electronic cigarette products, e-liquids, mechanical mod e-cigarettes, and unique personal modifications. Can you give us a general overview of the company?
Absolutely. Well, the company actually started in 2008. We were the first to actually launch the actual traditional electronic cigarette, which is the small ones you see at gas stations, convenience stores, so on and so forth. So we actually first developed those and brought those over, and we were strictly selling online because there were no retail outlets. So in the market in about 2011, 2012, we forecasted that there was going to be a change in the industry, that people wanted something a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, a bigger battery, better taste. So that actually transitioned into the electronic cigarettes with the bigger batteries, e-liquid, and now it's actually transversed into what are called mods. So it's a bigger battery. You actually use a bigger coil that actually brings more heat and actually converts the liquid into a vapor that has more flavor and more vapor.
Well, this is just an exploding industry, and of course you recently reported record sales for the company. So what do you attribute this meteoric growth?
Well, since the industry has taken a huge change, Wells Fargo actually did a study on the whole industry as an entire development, that the sector is actually $3.5 billion. And that is broken up in between e-cigarettes and the vapor industry. So currently the vapor industry is $2 billion and the electronic cigarettes are $1.5 billion. And so what we're in the vaping segment. So what that includes is the e-liquid and the mods. And we have developed a couple of very unique products that has taken us to the next level. And we have became so popular with the devices that we have developed that attributes a lot of our sales and our distribution side.
I think most people, as you said, are familiar with e-cigarettes because they've seen them in gas stations, convenience stores, and that type of thing. What's the difference between an e-cigarette and vapor?
So the vapor is actually, it's more of an intense coil. So you actually have a coil system that is built at a lower ohm. So that converts liquid into vapor. So the e-cigarettes, you're not going to get a lot of power. You're not going to get a lot of vapor production. You have traditional flavors like tobacco, menthol, cherry, and so on. What the vapor actually does, you have unique blends. It's kind of like a fine wine. So you're getting a unique mixture of strawberries, blueberries, watermelons, all mixed together. And that goes into the mod, which has a higher battery capacity, and that converts the liquid into a better taste and a bigger vapor.
Now the market for this, I would venture to say, is threefold. You have people who are looking to use this to quit smoking, looking to replace smoking, or some people are just doing it as new customers entirely.
Absolutely. When we started in 2008, what people were doing is they were using this to figure out if they can wean themselves off cigarettes. So what they found out that it does work very well for them, but the problem is that the battery capacity, the strength of it, the flavors of the e-liquid inside of it was not powerful, was not satisfying. So they realized that it is a useful tool for them, but they needed something bigger and better. And as products developed, people started advancing to that and buying them at the gas stations, the convenience stores. And now it has transitioned to where people are going to what are now called vapor stores, and they're popping up everywhere. There's over 15, 20,000 vapor stores in the US alone. So what people are doing, they're coming in to try these e-liquids to figure out what exactly is the best flavor for them.
Now, when I was researching your company, getting ready for this interview, I went to your website, which is vapor-hub.com. Saw something where you said your biggest seller is really what's called a limitless mod. Can you explain what a mod is and show us one?
Sure, absolutely. So what the industry has changed to is bigger batteries and what are now called mods. So there are mechanical mods and there are variable voltage mods. When we first started buying these mods in the industry, because we do have 2 retail locations, is that the products that were coming out were coming from the Philippines, and these were $200 to $300 devices. The problem is that we're buying them from different distributors and wholesalers, and it cut our margins dramatically. So we're buying them for about $200 and selling them for $220. That was the average cost. So what we did is we actually started manufacturing our own devices to control those margins. So we manufacture all of our devices here in the USA. We first started with our AR mod, which is something that looked like an AR rifle. And then we found out that people wanted to get something a little bit different, something unique. So we were the very first in the world to develop colors in the industry. So typically there were brass, copper, stainless steel, just basic colors. We were the first to do a black, a blue, a green, and that really changed the industry. And now what we're finding is that people are buying $200 to $300 devices, but they can't change that. So they have to buy another $200 to $300 device. So in 2015, 2014, we developed the Limitless Mod. So this is an example of our Limitless Mod. So this can range for about $99, which the industry really likes because it's an entry-level device, all the way up to about $180.
Okay.
But we took it a step further, and instead of buying a whole new device for $200 to $300, we have our design where you can interchange the sleeve.
Wow. Wow.
So for $25 to $30, you can interchange and do some unique designs like a digital camo,
Cool.
which this is actually pad printed. And we're the very first in the world now to introduce pad printed designs on mods. So we're very excited about that. So for consumers to be able to change the look, the feel of their device at a fraction of the cost, it's very appealing to them. And we even went a step further, made very unique designs with a cut through so you could see the design of the actual finish of the mod.
Nice. Nice.
So it's very unique. They're not stuck with a single device. They can actually interchange and come up with tons of different devices in different styles. So as you can see here, we have about 30 different designs.
Nice.
We're the very first to develop a wood sleeve. So wood is very popular. It gives it a very unique look and feel and design. And so we're very excited about that. And we've got a lot of different things that we want to come out with and bring to the market.
We're almost out of time, but I do want to ask you one other question. Why is this a good time right now for folks to take a closer look at your company?
Well, as you've seen, Wells Fargo did this study that the industry is $3.5 billion right now. They're estimating in a decade that it'll reach about $80 billion.
Wow.
So it is a very nascent industry. We're at the ground floor right now. This is something that's going to be continuing exploding, and it could very well take over traditional cigarettes. And since we are the very only vaping industry that is publicly traded, I think we have a huge advantage in some of the things that we plan to do as far as product development and continue to make great e-liquids and continue to go on and do mergers and acquisitions. We have a great company. We have a great management team. It's something that we've developed since 2008, and we have a very strong hold in this industry, and we look to continue to grow.
VHUB International, VHUB is their stock symbol. Ken, we've initiated coverage of the company. We'll be following you very closely over the next several months. Very exciting. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Don.